Hey everybody, it's Ashley Garner with Ashley B. Garner and Associates at Intracoastal Realty in Wilmington, North Carolina. Today's video wanted to hit on a little bit about the home selling process and how you, as the owner and seller of your home, can affect the process in a good way so that you can get the house sold. So really there's three main factors you need to be concerned with: location, condition, and price. So when I go out to a home and look at it and people want my opinion on, hey, what can we do to our house to make it more saleable? Well, and what's the value going to be? How do we get this thing sold? So that's what we start with. The first thing we want to start with is location, and as you all know, location is the most important factor in real estate. If it's across the street from a manufacturing plant, it's probably not going to be as valuable as it's going to be in a neighborhood with sidewalks and large trees and wide streets and parks and all that. That's pretty obvious. Now the thing about location that's so important is you can't change it. You can't pick the house up and move it. You can't pick the lot up and move it to some other place. So the location is going to be what the location is going to be, and there's not much we can do about it. The next thing is the condition. Now condition is certainly something that you can do something about to a certain extent, and that's normally regulated, or your limiting factor there is your budget. And so, you can do things like landscape and put some mulch out, some new plants, you can paint. Those things are all relatively inexpensive. But when it comes to remodeling a kitchen or putting an addition on a house so you have an extra bathroom or an extra bedroom, those things can get quite expensive. So you have to be careful with that. You don't want to over improve, you don't want to put more money in than you're ever going to get back out. The other thing too is that takes cash out of your pocket. So if you don't want to take cash out of your pocket or out of your savings account and put it into there, then you're limited by that. So there's only so much you can do to the condition. Some things you really have got to do. But then it comes down to price. And price is going to be affected by the location. It's going to be affected by the condition. And then by all the comparable sales of other houses or other properties that are similar to yours. Now if your house is in a worse condition than the comparable sales, or if it's in a worse location than the comparable sales, then obviously your price is going to be affected negatively. It's not going to be worth as much. If it's better, then it'll be better. To a certain extent, again, you do that condition, if you put too much money into it, there's still only a certain amount that the house is worth, even though you may have put too much in it. So you have to be careful with that. That's where it's real important to talk to somebody like me or a real estate appraiser before you go in and do all these things. We can tell you, hey, you might want to hold off on that because I don't think you're going to get the value back out of your investment. Or I might say, it would really benefit you to paint all these rooms and put some pine straw out front, pressure wash the outside, for example. So these are all the things when I sit down and talk with somebody who's getting ready to sell their house and they want to use me as their listing broker and they want it sold as fast as possible for as much money as possible. This is the discussion that we have. And so you need to know that it all comes down to price, and the market will support only what the market will support. What's your home worth in the eyes of the buyer? How are we going to get them to walk in the door and say, whoa, this house is a value. We've got to hurry up and buy it before someone else does. That's our goal. So really, if we knew exactly, if we could look at our crystal ball and know exactly what a buyer would pay for your house, and we increase the price by 3 to 5% and put it on the market for that price, then it would probably sell within the first month. That's the goal. The magic trick there is knowing exactly what that price will be. That's why we have to come and do our homework and really narrow it down to a good price. So there's lots of questions in there. I know we're just skimming the surface here, but that's why you need to call me or your realtor or an appraiser or something like that. Until next time, this is Ashley.